So I've been in manufacturing for 25 years now, over 25 years actually. Mostly in the aerospace industry, currently working for an aerospace manufacturer that specializes in military jet engine subassemblies, components. Currently in charge of a small programming team of about 10 people, NC programming team.
Perfect. And how do you guys use NC Transform at your facility?
So we use it to automate our setups. So not only are we able to automate our setups, but we're able to adapt each NC program to unique features that are in any given part, like datum features or any special features that may not be exactly where they're intended to be. That's one of the main purposes for NCT.
Yeah, perfect. What kind of CAD CAM system do you guys use at your facility?
Siemens NX is what we're using.
Okay, perfect. And what kind of machines do you guys have that you use this on?
Mostly multi-axis machines, a lot of 5-axis trunnion machines, gantry type 5-axis machines, a few mill-turn machines.
And what controllers do those machines have?
FANUC 30Is, 31Is, some older 18s, Siemens 840Ds. Those are Siemens and FANUC are the main platforms that we support.
Before NC Transform, what was the biggest frustration in your manufacturing process?
Definitely the amount of time that operators spent setting up a part. They would spend hours just trying to dial in a part perfectly so that we could make a part within tolerance. That and all the manual operation that was required during the process, we've been able to eliminate almost all of that by implementing NCT.
So you touched a little bit on the setup process. Do you have any kind of idea of how much time that saved you or percentage of time that saved you on those setup processes?
I'll give you an example. So on average, it would take us 2 hours to set up a part. Now we're down to 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes is unattended because the probing takes care of most of the setup. So the operator really just has to load the part and press a button, and he can walk away and do other things.
Yeah, I'm glad you touched on probing. What kind of probes do you guys use in your facility?
Mainly Renishaw probes, strain gauge probes. We've found those to be the most accurate for 5-axis machines.
How has NC Transform changed the way your team actually works day to day? And what does the process look like now compared to when you guys implemented it, before you implemented it?
Well, as I mentioned, the operators would spend countless hours doing the setup. Now they're able to load the part, press the button, and walk away to do other things, perhaps running another machine, getting another part ready. So it's really freed up the operator to do other value-added activities.
Yeah, perfect. And you were there when we implemented NCT at your facility. Can you tell us a little bit about the implementation process and the ease of that implementation process?
So in the beginning, it's always challenging, like any new piece of software. Most traditional NC programmers don't like the idea of their code adapting to each part. But like I like to say, the proof is in the pudding. Once they saw how it works and how it makes their life easier, they embrace it.
Yeah. And if you were talking to like a quality engineer or somebody that was in QC that had some trepidation with it because a lot of these military parts are a locked-in process, can you talk to that a little bit on how your facility was able to get around that hurdle?
Yeah. So I like to compare it to a CMM machine. A CMM machine has all the tools needed to align to very unique datum structures. NCT can essentially do the same thing. We many times work together with the CMM programmer to get an understanding of how they're going to align to inspect a certain feature, and we try to mimic the same thing in our manufacturing process. One of the things I tell our QEs is our source code never changes. That's always the same. It's not like we're changing the machining process with every part. We're just adapting our nominal code to that unique part.
Yeah, that's perfect. Can you tell us a little story about a specific part or process that NC Transform improved for you? Something that may have been a hurdle within the facility that is no longer a problem?
Yeah, so we we have this large titanium engine part, and traditionally we struggled holding a very tight tolerance thickness throughout the circumference of the part. We used to have to do it in stages and stop along the way to have the operator adjust in or out, and it was very time consuming and not that reliable. So with NCT and using adaptive spline techniques, we've been able to automate that process. Operator no longer has to be at the machine, and we can hold that thickness within tolerance now without major struggles.
Within a lot of facilities, we see a lot of cut, measure, cut, measure, cut, measure. Is that something you guys dealt with previously before you implemented NC Transform, and has that been alleviated since?
Definitely, yeah. That's very common in our industry. Our parts are very tight tolerance, so there was a lot of pre-cutting, manual measurement, adjusting. So we've been able to eliminate a lot of that. But even in cases where we do have to take a pre-cut, we were able to automate that as well. So we do the pre-cut, we bring in NCT, do some probing, measuring, and then adjust accordingly.
Perfect. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to train a new programmer to use NCT?
It's a struggle at first because it is a fairly new concept in the industry. There's not too many software companies that have the ability to adapt programs to unique parts. So there's a bit of a learning curve, just like anything else. However, once they get to use it, it's just like any other piece of software. They're comfortable with it.
How many machines did you guys start with on NCT, and how many machines are you running now?
So we started off with just a few, but once we saw and learned the capabilities of NCT, we quickly implemented the software on all of our CNC machining centers, not just on 5-axis machines, 3-axis machines. There's a benefit whether it's 3-axis or 7-axis. So our whole site is on NCT when it comes to CNC milling machines.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about tool assembly control as well, and maybe you can walk us through how you guys use tool assembly control in your day-to-day operations.
So we use it to automate the tool data loading into our CNC controls. This allows us to do the presetting for our tools offline, and then bring in the data automatically when it's needed at the point of use, so right after the tool change. That's how we're using that.
And before you guys implemented tool assembly control, how often were you dealing with tool misloads or offset data entry errors? And then what did that cost you guys?
It was very common. It could result in scrap if the operator accidentally fat fingered a number in. It somehow made it past our laser system. It could result in a scrap part. So TAC has eliminated that. It's also eliminated misloads. It assures that you have the right tool assembly in the spindle when it's needed at the point of use.
And in what ways has the tool assembly control system helped you guys maximize your tool life?
We're able to keep accurate tool life management now, whereas before it was kind of up to the operator to figure out if it had made the 2 or 3 parts that it's allowed to make. So now we have a system that actually tracks that. So we've been able to identify tools that actually do not last as long as we thought they did. And on the flip side, we've been able to identify tools that can make more parts, and that saved us some money.
Yeah, and with the cost of tungsten carbide, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
If you were to talk to another shop owner who's still manually loading offsets and tracking tool life on paper, what would you say to them?
I would say it's a no-brainer. You have a system that can automatically load the data for you. You don't have to worry about your operators putting in the wrong numbers. It frees up some time. They don't have to take the time to enter those numbers in place. And the tool life management is a great benefit. You don't have to rely on somebody's knowledge to know if the tool is good or not.
Has NCT been implemented as a standard workflow within your manufacturing facility? And if so, what percentage of parts do you run NCT on?
100% of our parts run NCT. Anything that goes on a CNC mill uses NCT. It's a way of life for us now. We won't put anything on our machine tools that does not run on NCT.
What kind of savings did you guys realize as a result of implementing NCT? Was it a savings in labor, quality, rework, scrap?
I would say all of the above. Labor's a big one. Again, it's freed up our operators to multi-man, so they can run more than one machine now. It's given us the confidence that if it passes NCT, it's going to make a good part within the tolerance that we specified. If it's not within the tolerance, NCT is going to flag it, and it's not going to let it run until the user allows it to.
In an environment where it's hard to hire new machinists and the competency level has come down a little bit previously, do you think that it's really easy to train an operator to use NCT?
I think the operators reap the biggest benefit of it. There is a challenge learning how to use the system on the programmer side, but at the operator level, it takes away that high skill set that you used to need to run a part. It's night and day for them. They let this. They can sit back and they have the confidence that the software is going to tell them if the part is good or not.
Can you tell us a little bit about the user interface on NC Transform for the operators?
It's really easy to use. When they log into the interface, they can see all the jobs that they have set up for that machine, and it's literally a click of a button just to start the process. It loads all the programs for them, and it walks them through the process. There's very little that they have to do on their own. They're not choosing which program to run and when to run it. The process guides them through the entire manufacturing process.
Perfect. What problem did NC Transform solve for you that you weren't fully expecting it to solve when you first implemented it?
Well, I was always aware that you could use NCT with traditional probing measurements. I wasn't aware that you could also use it for ultrasonic probing measurements. So we have now implemented that into our processes where we're using ultrasonic probes along with NCT. There was some customization that was needed, but the NCSS group was more than happy to help us with that.
Yeah, perfect. And your facility had MCS for I'm sure. Your facility had MCS. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys used it?
That's okay. Yeah, we probably don't want to. We're not using it anymore. I don't know if you're aware of that. So
kind of tripped up on
it. Yeah.
In my head.
Let me ask you why.
A lot of it was political. Okay. Yeah. Some of it was political. Corporate wanted us to use a different system. It's not bad software. Not saying that what we use now is much better. There's some things that are better, some things that are worse. But I'd rather skip that question.
Yeah, that one cut that out. What led you to seek out an adaptive machining solution?
Well, many of the parts that we manufacture are thin-walled structures, and they're not always where they're supposed to be. There's a lot of deformation in them, and aligning precision machine features to thin walls, large structures is not that easy without being able to adapt your program to it.
And what led you guys to choose NCSS over the competition?
NCSS is a leader when it comes to this technology. There's not too many software companies out there that can do this at the level that NCSS can do it.
We're talking to another manufacturer or a friend that's in the industry that was kind of on the fence about NC Transform. What would you tell them?
It's okay to be a little bit intimidated by it. It is different, but once you see the benefits and what NCSS and NCT can do for your processes, it's well worth the risk.
Can you talk to us a little bit about return on investment when you guys implemented NC Transform? Did you see an immediate return on investment, or was that an extended period of time?
I would say you start seeing a return on investment as soon as you put it into your first process.
Was there some processes within your facility that you didn't know needed NC transform? And as you started to use it, did you kind of have that like aha moment, like, oh, we can use NC transform on this process as well?
I mentioned the ultrasonic process. That was kind of our aha moment. That was something we didn't realize that could be adapted to NCT.
You know, I was going to say maybe Everett would be also able to help you with fixture design and the benefit on fixture.
Okay, yeah, that was something I was going to get to.
Tease that in there a little.
Sure. Prior to using NC Transform, can you walk us through what your fixture design and fixture manufacturing look like compared to what it looks like now that you're using NC Transform?
So our fixture design used to have to be perfect, right? It used to have to be designed in such a way that it would constrain your part perfectly, because we had no other way to adapt our programs to it. Now with NCT, we can design fixtures that are a little more basic, not as expensive to design or build, because we have the capability to adapt our program to a part that may not be in its perfect shape.
Yeah, so kind of you're saying if you can hold it, NC Transform.
If you can hold it for machining, we can use NCT on it. Yeah.
Very cool. You talked about a learning curve for your programmers.
Mm-hmm.
How long does that typically take for someone to come up to speed? Is it something that's going to take them, weeks or months, or what does that look like?
It depends on the individual. I've seen programmers pick it up in a month or two. And they're, if you have a really, really sharp programmer, they can pick it up in under a month.
When you say compared to other softwares you use, is that?
I would say it's equivalent to, actually a bit easier compared to, let's say, learning Siemens NX. So it's comparable. It's not very complicated, but just like anything else, there's a learning curve to it.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. Doubts did you have about NC Transform before you used the product, and have those been alleviated?
So I was skeptical about my NC code changing every time it runs apart. But I can say we've had one issue over the course of 15 years. So it's very reliable.
Yeah, has it made the relationship between you and the quality department better?
It doesn't even come up as an issue. They have full confidence in it. When there is an issue with the part, the question is how can we improve this using NCT?
Would you recommend NC Transform from NCSS to another company? And if so, why would you do that?
Definitely. If you're struggling with setups that take too long, if you're struggling with prolonged operator intervention, NCT is the way to go. It does allow you to automate a lot of those things. If you're working with flimsy, thin-walled parts that aren't exactly where they're supposed to be, NCT can help you find those features and adapt your programs to those features. Features that I like about NCT is after it's done probing and finding its alignment, it goes through a second iteration to verify that alignment is truly there. And so if there was a chip on the part and the probe picked it up the first time, with that second iteration, you have a higher degree of confidence that solution that it arrived to is a good solution.
Can you tell us a little bit about the support received from NCSS?
The support is great. They've been awesome when it comes to developing new strategies. We just have to pick up a phone, explain what we're trying to do, and they'll either recommend a solution that's already in place or develop it for you. They're great partners to work with.
Yeah, and those new features that NCSS has developed for you. Those new features that NCSS has developed for you, did they charge you for those features, or was that just part of your?
It's part of our yearly maintenance. There was no additional cost.